One of these three men performed one of the most dangerous acts of patriotism on the Allied side in World War II. What is your name, please?
My name is Ericsson.
What is your name, please?
My name is Ericsson.
What is your name, please?
My name is Ericsson.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real Ericsson, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Collier.
Tell the truth. May I introduce our panel? What is your name, please?
My name is Polly Bergen.
My name is Jackie Cooper.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Gardner.
Now, these three gentlemen all claim to be Ericsson. Only one, of course, is the real Ericsson. The other two have merely assumed that identity. They are the ones who do not have to stick to the truth. Panel, will you follow along with your copies of the affidavit, which I am about to read? I, Ericsson, a Swedish oil man, was born in Brooklyn and graduated from Cornell University. In Stockholm in 1939, I was asked by United States Ambassador Steinhardt to work for Allied intelligence as a spy against Hitler. Posing as a pro-Nazi businessman, I traveled in wartime Germany for some 4 years. I visited many of the enemy's vital synthetic oil refineries with the approval of the dread Gestapo, and even succeeded in fooling Gestapo Chief Heinrich Himmler himself in a face-to-face interview in Berlin. I was once forced to watch the execution of a woman agent with whom I had worked closely. This work, combined with other intelligence and air reconnaissance, helped Allied strategic bombers to repeatedly attack and cripple the Nazi oil industry and thereby bring the war to a speedier conclusion. My career in espionage is told in a book published a few weeks ago. The book is called The Counterfeit Traitor, signed Ericsson. All right, panel, these three gentlemen all claim to be Ericsson, as you heard, wartime espionage agent. Only the real one is required to answer your questions truthfully, and you will each question, as you always have, until you hear this bell. At the end of the questioning period, you must cast your vote for the one who, in your opinion, is the real Ericsson. And we'll begin tonight's first round with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Thank you, Bud. Number one, what is the nickname of Cornell University?
Big Red.
Number two, there's a lake nearby, Cornell. What is the name of it?
Lake Cayuga.
Number three, the Germans had the very famous SS troops. What did the SS stand for?
Schutzstaffel.
Number two, did your family know that you were working actually for the Allies?
Only one. My wife.
Your wife. Number one, how did you get your information back to the Allies?
In person. I always left Germany by plane and contacted the British and American intelligence in Stockholm.
Why, you weren't afraid of being followed or checked at all?
Well, there was always a chance.
Jackie?
Number two, what year were you in Brooklyn last?
1925.
1925.
That's right.
Uh-huh. And what year did you graduate from Cornell?
That's when it was, 1925.
Oh, that was in 1925.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Now, you had a face-to-face interview with Himmler, is that right?
That's right.
Is that true that he was really bald?
No, he wasn't, but he didn't have too much hair.
He didn't have too much hair. Uh-huh. Now, how did you do this intelligence work as far as air reconnaissance was concerned? You were a pilot, is that right?
No.
Oh, you weren't a pilot?
No.
Oh, then how did air reconnaissance come into this intelligence work?
Well, when I went through Germany and inspected the different oil fields, the refineries, then when my information came back to Stockholm, and through there relayed to American intelligence, and there again to British. That way they knew exactly where they were, and they were bombed accordingly.
I see.
Kitty Carlisle, please.
Number 3, it says in your affidavit that your career in espionage is told in a book published a few weeks ago. The book is called The Counterfeit Traitor. It says it is told. Did you write this book?
No, I did not.
Who wrote the book?
Alexander Klein.
Alexander Klein?
Yes.
Number 1, what is the name of a very big German industrial cartel?
The IG Farbengesellschaft.
Number 3, where were these oil refineries?
Well, the largest ones were at Bremen, Hanover, Halle, Messe, Hallebe, Bohlen, Zitzendorf.
Number 1, where did you see Heinrich Himmler?
Right in his private office.
Where was this?
In Friedrichstrasse number 8. Friedrichstrasse number 8.
Hi, Gardner, please.
Well, I'm glad to meet one of these three men tonight, Bud, because I read an advanced galley of this book, and I think it was the most exciting spy story I've ever read in my life. So I'd like to find out which one it is myself. Number 1, what was the name of a prince who worked with you?
Oh, that was Prince Karl Bernadette, a personal friend of mine.
Uh-huh. Number 2, when you first flew to Berlin, at what hotel did you stop?
Hotel Eden.
In Berlin?
Yeah.
Beg pardon?
Hotel Eden.
Eden, what hotel was it, number 3?
Hotel Eden.
Uh-huh. I would like to ask this question. I think number 2 said that your wife knew that you were spying for the Americans. Is this true of you, too, number 3?
My wife knew that I was.
That's it. Time is up. It's time to vote, panels. But without consultation, which is the usual procedure, just mark your ballots and select number 1, number 2, or number 3. Remember, the team of challengers gets $250 for every incorrect vote. So, Polly, have you marked your ballot? For whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3, and I haven't the vaguest idea of why.
Well, there's an opening gambit if I ever heard one. Jackie, what about your selection?
I like number 2 because I believe his accent the best.
He was born in Brooklyn.
Well, that's what he likes.
That's what confused me. They all had accents, and they were born in Brooklyn. I don't understand that.
Sound like the Dodgers. All right, Kitty.
I like number 1. I liked his information about where Mr. Himmler worked, although I'm not sure it's true. Well, I like number 1.
And hi, Gardner. What about your choice?
Well, I voted for number 3, strictly on a hunch. It was pretty rough because if all 3 of these men weren't good liars, one of them would now be dead.
True enough. And with that in mind, let's see how well we have all done at home or wherever you were guessing along with us, as we trust you were, as we discover which one of these 3 gentlemen was the former wartime espionage agent. So, will the real Eric Ericsson please stand up? Thank you, sir. Number 1, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Carl Rhodes. I'm a retired hosiery and lingerie buyer, and I also am currently modeling for the Dale Garrick Agency here in New York.
Thank you, sir. And number 2, what about you, sir?
My name is Lars Nordvik. I'm from Norway originally. At the present, head waiter at the Stockholm restaurant, New York City.
Well, we thank you very much. And in checking the score, we see there were exactly 2 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $500 from Marlboro. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Hope you had fun. We enjoyed having you here. Good night and good luck. Thank you. Team of challengers, please.
One of these young ladies was the first woman pilot in the Israeli Air Force. What is your name, please?
My name is Yael Finkelstein.
What is your name, please?
My name is Yael Finkelstein.
What is your name, please?
My name is Yael Finkelstein.
With your affidavit copies before you, please follow along, panel. I, Yael Finkelstein, am a reserve pilot in the Israeli Air Force. I am the only woman in the Air Force who holds the rating of Dakota Captain. In 1956, I was the co-pilot of the first plane to drop Israeli paratroops into the Sinai Peninsula. At present, I am flying domestic route for Arkia, the domestic carrier of El Al Israel Airlines. I am a full-fledged commercial airline pilot. Signed, Yael Finkelstein. As you recall, panel, these three ladies all claim to be Yael Finkelstein, Israeli pilots. Only the real one must answer truthfully, and let's begin this round with Jackie Cooper. Jackie?
Yes. I must say I am also a very great admirer of one of these three ladies here. Anybody who flies an airplane. I would like to ask, number one, what type of plane did you first solo in?
In a Piper.
In a Piper Cub, uh-huh. Number two, what type of airplane did you solo in?
On a Stearman.
In a Stearman. And what was the horsepower of that airplane? Do you remember?
I can't recall. It was too long ago.
Mm-hmm. Number three, could you tell me what potato kugel is?
Potato Kruger, no.
No. Do you cook? Do you cook, number
Yes,
three?
I do.
You do cook. Number one, did you go from soloing in the Piper Cub right to multiple engine airplanes?
No.
Kitty?
Number one, did you pilot the plane you came over in?
No.
They didn't let you?
I came on the Britannia from El Al.
You came on a Britannia?
Yes.
What kind of a plane is that?
The jet.
Uh-huh. What's the difference between a jet and an ordinary plane, number two?
The engine is different.
Uh-huh. Number three, is military service compulsory for women in Israel?
What is it compulsory?
Is military service compulsory?
Compulsory means
Yes.
they
For
have
women?
To do it.
Yes, they do.
How long is the training?
Hi, Gardner.
2 years.
Number two, the El Al, is that the way you pronounce it?
Yes,
El Al
yes.
Israel Airlines hold the record for the fastest time between Tel Aviv and Idlewild. Can you tell me what that time is?
Well, now there's a new record that was made on my flight over from Paris to New York. It was 9 hours and 46 minutes.
And who was the pilot of that plane?
Captain Ben Simon.
Number three, and what type of plane was it?
It was a Britannica jet.
Britannica jet. Is that jet propelled or a complete jet plane?
A complete.
Complete.
Polly?
Number one, in the Israeli army, are the men and women in the same squadrons?
Yes.
Number two, do they eat together and work together in the army?
Why, yes.
Well, it is unusual because we don't do it here. She looked like her.
Well, it's not
so
their
I asked
harm,
it.
you know.
Number three, number two, do you refer to an officer by his rank in the army?
What do you mean?
Do you call, if he's a captain, do you call him captain, or if you know him, would you call him by his first name?
No, always by his rank.
Number three, who is the head of the Israeli army?
Of the men's Israeli army or women's Israeli army?
Oh, are there two? Well, no, just the prime head.
Shabir Akasi.
Aren't you glad you asked? That's it. Our time is up now. And it's time once again to vote. So without consultation, will you mark your ballot? And select number one, number two, or number three. Okay, Polly? All set? For whom is your vote cast this time, Polly Bergen?
Oh, I don't know. It's between 1 and 2. I mean, 1 and 3. Number 2 was a little slow on the difference between a jet and an ordinary plane, which for a pilot to me was a little unusual. Number 1 and number 2 answered all the information as far as I know correctly, so it was a matter of just going eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and one looked more like Mo than...
Jackie?
I voted for number 3 even though she doesn't know what potato kugel is, because I don't think 1 and 2 know anything about an airplane.
All right. Kitty Carlisle, what about your selection?
That's pretty good reason.
I want to change my vote.
No.
I voted for number 3. Well, she had the kind of far-seeing blue eye that I associate with pilots.
The wide blue yonder. Hi, Gardner.
Well, I voted for number 2 for the very reason that Polly didn't. I think that most of the flyers I know fly high and fast when they're up and are very slow on the ground.
All right, there you have it. Let's see if we're right or wrong, because we'll discover right now which one of these 3 ladies is the real Israeli pilot. So, will the real Yael Finkelstein please stand up? Well, you came pretty close to fooling the entire panel, all but one. Number 1, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Yael Migdal. I'm a nurse. I work in a doctor's office in Park Avenue, New York.
And now, number 3, what about you?
My name is Paula Valenska. I was born in Czechoslovakia. I have never been in Israel. And I have a freelancing radio announcer for Voice of America.
Well, we thank you very much. And we see by the scoreboard in front of each of you that there was only 1 correct. That means 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $750 from Marlboro. Thank you very much. Good night and good luck to you. Now, may we have our 3rd team of challengers, please?
One of these men is a former Olympic swimming star. What is your name, please?
My name is Stubby Krueger.
What is your name, please?
My name is Tubby Kruger.
What is your name, please?
My name is Stubby Kruger.
All right, panel. Attention, please, to the affidavit. I, Stubby Kruger, started swimming at an early age and have been at it ever since. At one time, I held the world's records in both the backstroke and the medley and was also the national pentathlon swimming champion. After turning professional, I teamed with Johnny Weissmuller, and together we toured Europe, Canada, and the United States, performing at swimming meets and water shows. My biggest enjoyment has always come from the specialty which I originated, comedy, swimming, and diving. Signed, Stubby Kruger. All right, panel, these 3 bemedaled gentlemen all claim to be Stubby Kruger, Olympic swimming star. Let's begin this round with Hi Gardner. Hi.
Number 1, a very famous comedian, used to be a lifeguard in Chicago and also did some comedy diving. You know who that was?
Yes, that was Lewis, Joey Lewis.
Number 2, would you know?
That'd be Pappy Joey Lewis.
Number 3?
I didn't hear the question.
Know something funny? I accept that answer. Number 2, Johnny Weissmuller. You spent a lot of time with him. He recently went into a new business. Can you tell me what that business is?
Yes, it's a Tarzan in the movies, 1931.
A new business that he went into.
Just recently.
Recently?
Number 3, would you know? What new business Johnny Weissmuller went into?
Swimming pool?
Number 1, what about you? Would you know?
Yes, he's running a boys' camp down in New Jersey.
Uh-huh. Number 3.
Holly Bergen, please.
Number 1.
It's an old sack dress.
Number 1. What year did Wally Siebert win the world's record of backstroke?
That was in 1924.
Number 2. What year did Wally Siebert win the backstroke record?
1928.
Number 3. What is the name of Johnny Weissmuller's son?
Johnny Weissmuller.
Number 3, Buster Crabbe is a very famous swimmer. That isn't his real name, is it?
Oh, you asked me?
Yes.
No, that's not his real name. I think his name is Larry Kraft.
I'm amazed you didn't ask him about the costume jewelry, but you did. Jackie?
Number 1, did you appear at the World's Fair with Johnny Weissmuller?
Yes.
Number 3, what year was the World's Fair with Johnny Weissmuller? Never mind. Number 2.
1939.
Number 2, is it true that Johnny Weissmuller was unable to break his old record when he was swimming up there in the show at the World's Fair?
Yes.
That is true.
Kitty?
Number 1, who designed your bathing suit?
I designed them and make them myself.
Number 2, when you were standing up there, you were wearing a lot of things. Are those medals?
Yes.
Well, what's the sort of safety pin for?
What, to hold my pants up?
Number 3, do you use props in your diving?
What?
I have to call time. Always leave them laughing when you call time.
Oh.
It's time to mark your ballots, panel, so if you will do so, please, and select number 1, number 2, or number what? 3. Okay, have you marked your ballot? Polly, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3. Actually, for the first time in my life, I have a very good reason. I asked number 1 and number 2 what year Wally Siebert held the backstroke record, and they both gave me years, and he happened to be the head dancer in my television show.
But you didn't ask number 3.
Well, why ask him? I already know him. And also, I didn't have the time to wait.
Jackie Cooper, your vote, please.
Well, I voted for number 1 because I think number 2's a weightlifter from the way he's built, and I don't know what number 3 is.
Kitty, what about your vote?
I voted for number 3. Well, I figured if he's a diver, it's conceivable he could be a little bit deaf, maybe.
All right, hi, Gardner, your vote?
Well, I voted for number 3 also. In the first place, I think that in his own quiet way, above water, he came up with a lot of right answers. And besides, I think he looks just lovely in that sack bathing suit.
Okay, there we have it, the votes and the reasons for them. Find out right now, without any further ado, which one of these gentlemen is the real Olympic swimming star. So will the real Stubby Kruger please stand up? Number 1, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Waldo Lynch. I'm an assistant vice president with Pan American Airways.
And number 2, what about you?
My name is Walter Podolak. I am a physical instructor in the El Runs Gymnasium, and I used to wrestle professionally under Golden Superman.
I was close.
Well, there we are. There was only one incorrect vote for a grand total of $250 there from Marlboro. Thanks very much, gentlemen. Hope you had fun. We did. Good night and good luck. It's time for a few social notes. First, of course, thank you, Jackie, for sitting in with us.
I enjoyed it.
Come again whenever you're in New York. And you, Polly, have a nice trip to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Polly is going to put on a show for 3 weeks out at the Riviera, I believe.
Are they happy I'm working or glad I'm going?
You'll be pinch hitting for Red Skelton out there, and needless to say to anyone who goes to Las Vegas, good luck, Polly.
Thank you.
And Miss Betty White will be here from Hollywood, sitting in for you while you're away. That's all. Good night, panel.
Good night, Bud.
And this is Bud Collier saying good night from Marlboro and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night.
To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Gardner production, in association with the CBS Television Network. Miss Bergen stars by Wilma.